Hi everybody. I've had my auto farm switched to industrial hemp for a while, and I think I'm not in any danger of running out of wool for the next build. And our next ship is going to be a farm. The idea I have in mind for it is a tugboat towing a series of barges, each barge being a different farm. And I'm thinking a fairly large tugboat. I had thought about them pushing the barges like you see in reality, but I like the look of this better. So that's my plan. And I have set up the beginnings of it from this builder block in here. I probably should have just moved the builder block over and done it from there, but I didn't. So, looks like I'm ready to get started. Tempest Fugit. So, here's our tugboat. I think I did reasonably well. We've got our tires around the sides. anchors and helm, courtesy of DecoCraft. And we've got our smokestacks pouring smoke into the gas bag for lift. I really wanted to use steam. Unfortunately, steam hasn't been made where it pours properly, so I decided to go with burning netherrack for that. And for thrust, we're using centrifugal thrust motors. That is to say, a water wheel, to give the appearance of a squirrel cage air thruster, which also produces a little bit of power for anything that I might need power for on this thing. But mostly it's there for looks. And next we'll want to start on one of the farms. I had originally thought it would be cool just to make great big giant metal chain links out of Tyrian, but I kind of changed my mind about that. I think I would rather have something that more resembles some kind of trailer hitch. You know, giving it sort of the look of having been connected like a trailer. So yeah, maybe something like, yeah, just like this. And one more block to lock it in. And as for the barges themselves, they're just going to be just plain rectangles, but underneath they're going to have gas bags for flotation. And I am thinking that they will also have a deep keel. That is to say, a long fin on the bottom with a weight to give it the look of actually standing up straight, being held up straight. And then of course I'll be filling it with dirt and farming implements. I thought about just moving all the Steve's carts over, but I think I'll do something different instead. So, I'm going to make a barge. And here we have our sparkling new barge, complete with gas bags to hold it up and keel to keep it upright, and dirt to plant in. And actually Additions Farmer, which I'm going to need to power. And just to accelerate the growth a bit, we've got these growth accelerators. And they will also hydrate the soil, at least according to their description in Wayla. So all I need to do is provide power for this thing, and then give it some seeds to plant. And hey look, I happen to have some solar panels just sitting around. And that's building up, and the thing's already... it's doing work tilling the soil. That's just fine. And we'll let that build up some power while I go fetch some seeds. and industrial hemp seeds. And I don't know why this one's not doing anything. Oh, that's why. Alright, well, I'll have to do some wiring to take care of this thing. And I will just put these panels over here. And we'll throw these seeds in here too. And I imagine that it will start planting them just as soon as all this soil is tilled. Except that it's untilling itself as quickly as it's tilled. I wonder if this requires power. I'm going to get some conduit and find out. Which doesn't seem to be making any difference either way. Although it looks as if the increased power is at least getting this tilled more quickly. But yeah, even though, well, this says that the growth crystal can be used as a water source. Maybe it needs to be on the same level. But first I need to fix this pickaxe. Alright, and the middle is right about there. How about that? Yeah, there we go. That should keep it tilled. Okay, so I've got my watering can. And I went to bed, so it's daylight now. And that grew pretty nicely. So it should be harvesting. Of course, this should be growing really fast too. Okay, so I've been having kind of a wild week. I had several days in a row where I could not record, but where I could play. So I finished off a couple things. I, first off, fixed up my Enderman farm so it works properly, and put in a mob masher and fans. And that works like a charm. So while I was at it, I decided I also needed a blaze farm, which also works perfectly. And I used the products of those to make some ender chests, to put stuff into my storage system. And since now I have enough ender pearls to actually do stuff, I made an ender sword, complete with traveling. And put travel anchors all over the place. And since those farmers weren't working for me, I decided to go with Ender IO farming stations. I don't generally like using those because they require all the hose. But MacLeod told me about obsidian hose, which craft pretty easy, and they're pretty cheap. So I threw a bunch of sticks and obsidian into a crafter to keep the thing loaded up. So since I did that, I decided to widen this barge to take advantage of the full range of the farming station. I'm going to be making more of these things. I'm going to make this thing at least 3 farms long. And I'll probably use different crops because I'm already putting out quite a lot of industrial hemp. Of course, I'm going to want a lot of industrial hemp because future barges are going to need more wool. And I'll be adding more barges as I expand to more farms. And they'll have a standardized shape and size so that I can just use the copy function of the RF Tools Builder to put more barges on the train. And I would love to show you the finished product, but at least we know what we're going to be doing. And in the meanwhile, I really want to get this video out to you because it's been too long. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and show you the finished product next episode before we do whatever I'm doing next. Until then, have some fun, build something cool, and have a nice day.